Welcome back to Bloom with Tina and Kelsey. I'm so excited for our friend Carole Sarkan here today. Thank you for being here, Carole.
Thank you for having me.
I first met Carole at Ordinary Pioneer very early on in when I started attending events there. Carole and I were talking after something. I don't remember what the event was, to be honest.
Some class.
But we really connected, I felt like, right away.
Absolutely.
And Carole was in the process of church shopping, I guess is what I'll call it at the time, and was talking about how much she loved the music in a church, and that was really important. She wanted to have choirs and things of that nature. And so, of course, I recommended Tina's church because Tina is involved in multiple choirs and a bell choir and all the things at church. And I was like, I really think this is a place you would enjoy being. And so then you went to the church, and then you met Tina, and then you guys got connected, and I think it's been really good.
I think, yes. and my husband, who's the opera singer, did his classes at BGSU, and he is a concert singer.
Wow.
So he's also looking for a church, and so we found our church.
Yes.
That's incredible.
I love it. I love having to meet you and everything. So, and then we have so much in common.
Yes, we do. We went out to eat, and we found out we had all these things in common.
Yes.
That's the sign of soulmates. Kindred spirits.
That's right.
Kindred spirits.
Yeah. So we are here today because Carole wrote a book, and it is called From the Pen of Private Jim, Letters to Bette. So tell us all about how you started writing this book.
Well, I've known about the letters since I was a little girl.
Okay.
They were in my parents' garage, and didn't do much with them then. When Dad was living, he would tell his war stories. People loved listening to him. He loved to be the center of attention. So I finally gave him a tape recorder and said, I want you to tape these war stories. And so we weren't sure whether he had or not. But then when he passed away in 96, we were going through things, and I found a cassette tape, and put it in the tape recorder, and it has all of his war stories.
Wow.
So I'm going to have that playing the day of the book launch in a couple of weeks. But anyway, so those letters stayed in the garage. Then Mom died in 2009, and so we took what we could take home with us. And those letters sat in our garage until 2.5 years ago, actually 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I knew they were out there, and I'd look at them and look away. Finally, we brought them in, and I'd walk by them in the study, look at them, look away. And one day I looked at him, I said, all right. So I pulled one out, and I pulled it out, unfolded it, and went, wow, and started reading it. And that was it. I started reading it, but I still didn't know what to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally decided, well, I gave the letters that were to his parents to my friend who transcribed them. But then I found another box, and this was the box that had all of Bette's letters.
Wow.
All 1,200.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And Bette is
My mom.
okay.
So the beginning of the letters was in 1942 when they just met, and they were talking to each other through the letters. Do you really love me? And are you going to be going steady with that guy forever? And finally, they decided they would date from a distance.
Okay.
They were both in Ohio at that time when they met.
Yes, they went to Otterbein College in Westerville, Ohio, and that's where they met.
Oh.
They were both musicians. She was a pianist. He was a violinist, and she would accompany him. And they started dating, and he didn't realize how much she really liked him. He didn't know. He was like, oh.
Yeah, men are kind of oblivious that way.
So I'm reading the book right now, and that's where I am.
Yeah, that's where you're
at the book, and it's like, Betty, I'm writing you every single day.
Yeah, why aren't you writing back?
and I'm writing you, and it would be really nice for me to be surprised instead of hoping that I get a letter each day. You know, do you really like me?
Yeah,
or
I really like me.
And it's like I'm giving all of this, and it's like I'm getting nothing in return.
Yes.
And I can feel his frustration.
And he has so many emotions. He has the frustration. He has the desperation. He has the obsession of her. But that kept him going.
That's what I was
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
The whole book. It just kept him going. But anyway, so that 1942, and then they started dating, and then in 43, they decided they were in love.
Yeah.
And so then, so anyway, so I decided I'd transcribe them. So I was, going to town with, and then I thought, the dictation button. So I pressed dictation and started reading the letters, and it would go to text on the screen. But then I had to put all the punctuation in, like commas and periods and everything. So then I went back through, and I realized that some of those commas and periods were actual words, commas and periods. Go back through and make sure that I got that out and put the actual punctuation. But anyway, I would be reading, and I would be laughing while I was reading. I'd be, while I'm reading, I would be, oh my gosh, while I'm reading, I would be crying while I'm reading.
Yeah.
And so it went on, and I kept getting every months more letters. I started in 42, got to 43. I'm thinking, this is going to take me forever. Got to the middle, end of 43. And then he had to go on the boat over to Africa. And they got married first. And I don't know if I'm going too much ahead.
No.
But anyway,
Continue.
I finally decided this is too much. This is overwhelming. So I hired a transcriber from BGSU. I called around, and the university was so good about setting me up with someone who was a very nice person. And the first thing I asked her where her hometown was.
Yeah.
And she said, Westerville.
Oh my gosh.
That's where Dad was born.
Yes.
I said, you're hired.
Yes.
And she was so wonderful. And she had these done in no time. She did part of 44. She did some of 45. And we would meet at the library where she worked, and we'd sit and we'd talk. And I mean, it was great. So I'm really glad I did that. So then I had to put them all together. And I thought at first I was going to do chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. But I got all mixed up, and I got angry about it, and I couldn't figure out how to put the chapters together. And I started yelling and screaming, and I walked out to the dining room. I said, Dad, you have to help me. And all of a sudden the light started flickering. And all of a sudden I heard in my mind, take a deep breath, go back in. So I went back in, and somehow I figured out how to do it. And instead of calling them chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, they were the dates.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that put them in order, in the
Yes.
correct order. And it was done.
Yeah.
I'm like, gee, Dad,
I love that.
that's swell.
Right?
I took on some of what he would say swell all the time. And I took on some of that, slang or whatever. And there was a lot of slang in the letters. I played music while I was doing it, like 40s music.
Oh,
And now I have the patriotic music that they loved. They loved listening to band music, like marching band, Stars and Stripes Forever.
Oh,
I'm going to have that playing at the book launch as well as 40s music.
oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. So in the book, okay, so I finally got them all put into files and folders on the computer. And then I asked my husband, would you like to edit this book? I mean, I had an editor through the publisher.
Yeah.
Speaking of the publisher, this was before the publisher. I was putting them together. And I thought, well, I need to contact a publisher. I don't know who to contact. So one of my friends who lives on the other side of the United States wrote to me and said, Carole, I understand you're writing a book. Yeah. She said, I know someone that I can hook you up with. Here, she hooked me up with a best-selling author who has a publishing company, or not, she doesn't have the publishing. She worked with a publishing company. And so I got together with her on an email, and she said, you need to be with Gordon, with Dart Frog. It's called Dart Frog. And so I wrote to him, and we had several Zoom meetings. He was really nice about it. I was worried and nervous at the beginning, and then he made me feel comfortable. And so he said, yeah, get the stories done. Just choose several. I'm like, what? Several? There are 1,200 here. How do I choose several?
Gee.
And he said, choose your favorites. And to me, that would be like choosing my favorite children.
Right.
They're all my favorites.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had to do some intuitive thought on it. And then I had to sort through what was repetitive. And then I moved that aside. And so finally I had 79 letters. So then he said to me, now you need to put a story around it. You just can't have letters in there. You have to have a story. So he said, I think you should tell the story. All this time, I wanted my dad to tell the story.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I don't know, I think Dad should tell the story. He said, well, he's not living right now. And I said, I kind of went, well. I said, I'll try. I'll try to tell the story. It was boring as heck. But then I thought of Dad and thought how, he had such a great sense of humor and such eloquent letters and really a great descriptive person, one that had good description. So I went back to Gordon and I said, I need to be my dad.
Yeah.
And he said, all right. My cousin also tried to talk me into just having me tell the story. And I said, Susie, this has to be my dad telling it. So I started writing it from my dad's viewpoint, and I took it back to Gordon, and he said, that's perfect.
Yes.
It is perfect.
Yes.
It is. I'm
Yes.
so glad you trusted yourself.
I
on that.
trusted
And
myself.
stuck to your
I talked to Helena, who's part of Ordinary Pioneer. I told her the story. She said, go with your gut.
Yes.
Go with the higher power. Go with God. And I did.
Yes.
And it made all the difference.
Yes.
And it changed me. It
Yeah.
made me into a more confident,
Yeah. Because you stuck to what you knew
I stuck.
to do.
Yeah.
And I listened to you talk about how you set the you listen to the music while you're doing the writing, and like I just picture you, and I know you live in an old home, so I just picture you in that old home with the old music, doing the typing, reading the slang in the letters.
Going back in time.
I was gonna say exactly that. Did you feel like you were traveling back in time?
Yeah. Have you ever seen Somewhere in Time? Christopher Reeve. You have to watch it. James Sealer and Christopher Reeves. But it's like that. It's like going back in time. I'm making breakfast and everything and feeding the dogs and the cat. And then I go back in and I start these letters and I go back in time.
Wow. That's amazing.
And I'm not even reading it.
Yeah.
Because you were able to do it from the perspective of your dad. It takes us back in time.
Yeah. And right. And this is 1942. This is like World War II.
Yeah.
He was, and that's what the letters are about.
Yeah.
He went into the war, and then, right, he talks about the war.
He enlisted.
So this is a love story, and it's history.
Yeah. Now, oh yes, it's all of it.
Yes, that's why I love this book.
Now, the letters started out, and some of them I didn't put in, but it's everyday activities. And it had nothing to do with the war or where he was. I kept thinking, why aren't you telling more? I found out they were censored. The censor police would go in with their razor blades and cut out certain types, certain words and everything. And then they put it all back in without, they would take the cut out words out of the letter and then put the letter back in. So when Mom would get the letter, and when I opened the letter, it all fell to the floor. All these little puzzle pieces.
Really?
I had to put some of them back together because they were censored. He was so angry about the fact that he was censored. And there's a chapter in there about the fact that he's just so angry that he has to be censored. However, a month later, he could tell the real story to her. And I chose this book with Betty's letters to tell the story because he told her more than he told his mom and dad. His mom, my grandma, had a heart condition, and she had, she was just so worried about him. And well, so was Grandpa, but I feel like he told Betty everything.
Yeah. And I can understand that because I feel that way sometimes even with my parents. Like Jonathan's going to get the full story and I don't want my parents to hear it.
And that's why I chose her letters and they were all there. Letters to her. Right. I couldn't find, I could only find like 20 of her letters. And I know she probably threw them all away. She didn't want anybody to know what she had written. And that's fine. Bless her heart. She was a very stoic lady, private, and didn't want to make a scene or anything. Well, I'm making a scene with that. Yeah. Sorry, Mom.
So when I read, so I'm not finished reading the book yet, but some of the letters say to Betty and some say to Lulu.
Lulu.
Yes.
Betty Lou.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
And the name is spelled Bette.
Yes, tell that story.
Okay, that's fun.
I read about that too. Yes, tell that.
Okay, the year before she passed away in 2008, we were talking about our names.
Yes,
Mom and I. And she said, yes, when I was 13, I really didn't like the way my name was spelled, so I put an E on the end of it. And I said, you know what? When I was 13, I put an E on the end because of my favorite singer, Carole King. Yes. And it's been that way ever since. And we didn't know that until 2008.
That's so funny.
It's so funny. Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And some people think it's letters to Bette. Well, Bette Midler,
Oh, yeah.
Right. Midler, but
yeah.
it has to be Betty.
Letters to Betty.
Letters to
Yeah.
Betty. Betty Lou.
Yeah.
Betty Lou Baker was her name.
Yeah. And also in the book, you have so many pictures.
Yes.
That
Uh-huh.
and you don't see that often in books.
No. What you do see, usually, which they didn't do, thank goodness, usually you see it in the middle.
Right.
Oh,
You know, and all the pictures
Yeah.
together.
with
Right.
them throughout.
But no, they wanted to put them throughout,
Right.
which I really appreciated.
I do too.
I
As-
love that.
As the reader,
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. And yeah.
I look at those pictures and I'm a little jealous. I wish I could find pictures like that from my family. You know, it's
Yeah.
such a precious
Do you know what?
capsule.
Do you know what I call it?
Mm,
Historical gold.
Oh, yeah.
it really is.
It's historical gold.
That's what I feel about this book,
Yeah.
Carol.
I know.
This book
Yeah.
is amazing.
And Amanda Held, I told her about it. Now she runs the hubs, veterans with horses. The horses are therapy horses for the veterans. And she used to be our daughter's horse trainer. And I told Amanda about the book and I told her what, I have all these letters. And she said, it's sacred
Mm-hmm.
in sacred land.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. So, and she's one of the reviewers. I got some wonderful reviews on it. What we did is we asked the people who were, I asked them if they wanted to have an electronic copy or if they wanted to have a hard copy. So a lot of them wanted hard copies. So we just ran them off. We had 6 binders of the book and I'd carry them over.
Yeah.
And Tim Brown, who was a county commissioner, he read the book and he was so appreciative. And not only that, but he told me it was divine intervention because he said he and his partner had gone over to Italy 2 years before that and walked the same walk that my dad did. So he felt like when he read the book, that he had already been there.
Right.
He found parts of shovels and lunch boxes. I mean, cans that hadn't been opened. I mean, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
think that's
amazing.
what he said. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
that's
it's just-
amazing. Do you know, are there any other books like this where there's someone that was in World War II and
There are some, yes.
yeah.
And they're mostly letters.
Oh, okay.
But they don't have a story around it like I do.
Right.
And Gordon said he found that kind of rare. He said and they had, she was, I don't know if she was a proofreader, but she worked with the publishing company and she was from the military. So she was able to see all the jargon, on the bivouac and all these weird names, that I'd never seen before. And she was able to understand it, I guess.
Right.
And I thought about putting a glossary with it, but decided against it. They didn't think I needed one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean, the internet's so prevalent now. If I don't know a word, I can grab my phone.
Right.
Search
Yeah.
what's this word mean?
And
Right.
not just that, but acronyms.
Yeah.
I thought
Exactly.
teachers had acronyms. Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
The war had acronyms for everything.
Yes.
And here's an example. Dad would get in trouble because he would talk when he wasn't supposed to. And so they'd say, you go back to the KP.
Yeah.
It was kitchen.
Yes.
He would always be put at kitchen police. I'm in that damn kitchen police again. KP. And and yeah, he liked to talk.
Yeah.
Like here, I'm telling you, it is really a mess, and I'm not one to stand for it. You see these guys in charge have it in for ERCs because they've been to college and know a little more about things in general than they themselves do. And I'm thinking, ERCs.
Yeah, I know.
I have to look up what ERCs are.
Yeah, I know.
But from the context, you can gather, it's the people who went to college first.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, some people said, well, I wish we had Betty's letters. But you
Yeah.
can find out about Betty through this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I am curious to know more about your parents' love story that you witnessed right after they came back, after this book took place, but not after the book took place, because I feel like the parts that are narrated by your dad are kind of as if he were going back and reading these letters during the time that you were around.
okay.
Right?
Okay, yes.
So it's like,
in the
what
90s, that was the time.
What was your parents' relationship like that you remember?
First of all, Dad had multiple sclerosis. He got it in 1957 when I was born. And now you know how old I am. And he started out with a cane and ended up in an Amigo cart, and he taught music. He taught orchestra at Bowser High School in Toledo.
Wow.
So Mom did most everything. She did a lot. But when Dad retired from disability back in 75, he started going to the store, raking leaves, making dinner, doing all these things that she would normally do. They just had a way of helping each other out.
Mm-hmm.
They went through the Vietnam thing with my brother. He didn't believe in the Vietnam War. And he came home from college. He went to several colleges. And it wasn't an easy time back then in the 60s.
Yeah.
And I was a little girl and I was like trying to get through it,
Yeah.
But they always supported each other. No matter what, they supported each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom was very independent. She went places by herself all the time because she had to.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dad either would come home tired and she'd have dinner ready, or he just couldn't. I mean, he had all kinds of different things that he tried to do to get rid of this MS.
Yeah.
And they finally went to Germany.
Oh, wow.
And had a treatment, and that's what it says in the epilogue.
Okay.
Wow.
And that halted it.
Huh?
Wow.
Really? It did. It
Really?
Yeah. It halted it. But the nerve endings with the myelin sheath had already been, some of it had been damaged.
Mm-hmm.
However, he would come into our house in the 90s and walk around with his walker, and when in the past he couldn't. So, and Mom just let him, they just had a great relationship. They would go everywhere together. They would go on trips together, church finally together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were supportive. And it was hard back in the 60s because it was just as bad as it is now. I mean, it was scary to think, that these kids are turning into these hoodlums.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of people thought. That's not what I thought, but, you watch the news and,
yeah.
So.
Did your dad talk about the war to
all
you?
the time.
Did he?
He did all the time.
Okay.
So some of the.
Because some
Yeah,
don't.
I know. Some don't. And he did.
Yeah.
He was one of the few that did. They'd go out to eat and he'd talk about the war.
Okay.
We would have dinner and we'd be in the living room. He'd start talking about the war.
Mm.
It was great.
Yeah.
When he would do that, what was kind of the sense you would get? Was he able to just tell the story without the emotion, or was there a lot of emotion as he was telling the stories, the war stories?
He was a storyteller.
It was almost as if he was able to just tell the story without emotionally going back there.
Right. Oh no, he wasn't emotional about it then.
Okay.
But he told the story the way it happened. And one of the stories he didn't tell Bette because I think he thought Bette wouldn't believe him. But he told me because he knew I would believe it, was the story about this guy saying, here they are, they're in camp in Italy. And this guy's looking around going, we have to move everything right now to all the way over to the other side. And everybody's looking at him like, what? And it's during the middle of the war. And so they just went ahead and took their things, moved over to the other side. 2 hours later, a big, huge bomb hit that area.
Oh, my God.
And therefore, he told me because he always knew that I have special gifts. Well, we all have special gifts, but anyway, and ever since I was a little girl, but he told me because he knew I would understand.
Oh, that's neat.
But he didn't tell Bette. I didn't find it in any letters.
Nothing in the letters.
Nothing in the letters about that, but all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
People dying.
Right.
Yeah.
He was in 5 battles. He was hospitalized twice. He ended up being hit with shrapnel while he was sleeping.
Oh.
And he felt something very hot on his arm, and they ended up taking him to the Red Cross hospital where he was hospitalized for 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. So that was the first time. The second time he had hepatitis. He ended up not being able to hold anything down. So he ended up going back to the Red Cross hospital, and those were some of the most fun times he had in the war. Being in those hospitals.
In the hospital.
Yeah.
I can't wait to read about that.
Oh, the nurses.
Yeah.
Some of the nurses were nice, but some were battle axes.
Really?
So, like Nurse Ratchet.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, he had some stories to tell about that.
Did he get a Purple Heart?
Yes, he did.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
that was from the wound he had. And he didn't think that much of it. He said, oh, everybody's getting the hearts. They're all getting the hearts. And we had the heart in the living room. When they were living, when they were there. And, yeah.
Do you have that today?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
What would he say to you today?
First of all, I made mention that I thought I'd like to do a story about him. And he said, nah, it's boring. Most of what we do is sit around and do nothing. And, but that, he didn't, he loved telling the stories, but he didn't want to, there were so many soldiers. He didn't want to be the one that was on display.
Right.
Even though he liked telling his stories.
Yeah. But here's the thing is because he was able to share his stories, like so many of the soldiers came back and they just couldn't.
Yeah, they could.
Right? Like they couldn't really share those stories because it did take them back.
Right.
It does take them back. And so how incredible that he just happened to have a daughter who's an amazing author.
Yes.
who is able to hear those stories and translate them into this book so that we can better understand what was going on.
Right. And his letters, you can tell some of his letters, he's crying. And then there are some that are the most hilarious you've ever met. He said, you have to have humor. You have to have humor all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the big things he used to tell me all of my life was, just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. And that's my motto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've been thinking, I know I need to get my money more organized, I just don't know where to start, I made something for you. Download my free financial organizer, a simple tool that helps you map your net worth, monthly cash flow, and those once-a-year expenses we all tend to forget about. Grab it now at apricityfp.com. That's apricityfp.com.
Yeah.
And you did it.
Right.
I did it.
Right.
I did it, Dan.
Because I just, I'm telling you, I cannot wait to finish reading this book. It is so good because of that love story.
Yeah.
And
the love story.
The love story and the history.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can tell that he and Betty just loved each other beyond belief. I mean, larger than life, everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You can tell it just came so easy for them because it just was.
Yeah.
The love.
Yeah.
You know, not that it was easy being apart, but.
Right.
And this isn't your first book that you have authored.
No.
I have them right here.
I do have something I want to say before you tell about the books.
Yes.
I wanted to say this. These stories are a witness. With everything going on in our tired world today, this book will fit perfectly into everybody's life.
Oh, yeah.
Written by a World War II soldier who's writing his daily activities, his beliefs, fears, frustrations, and vulnerabilities. There is such parallels between yesterday and today.
Yeah.
I mean, he thought the war was ridiculous. It was disorganized. The lieutenants were a bunch of you-know-whats. And he used to say the word sometimes. But I believe that book is historical gold.
Yes.
It will explain so much about that time in history wrapped in a larger-than-life love for Betty that transcended above the absurdities of which they were absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things that happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And we don't even know.
Yeah, they would be right behind them, the Germans, and all Dad would say would be, "That's war. That's war. Kill them.
Jeez.
That's war."
Yeah. So kind of off topic, but not. I was watching Hunger Games with my son last night.
Yes.
And all I could think was, this is a really good reminder that we only know what the government wants us to know about what's happening in the war.
You know what? It's exactly, it was like that back then.
It always is. Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot hidden. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't. D-Day, they didn't know. I mean, he wasn't part of that one.
Yeah.
But he did see Mussolini hung. And this is off the topic, but he did see, in the hospital, he did see Mount Vesuvius erupt.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have to go there.
But
anyway, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So your other books, they're totally different.
Yeah, totally different.
Children's books.
Yeah, one of them got an award. The first one is And Candy Smiled, about my three-legged dog and how she got through life with 3 legs.
Oh,
She got hit by a car and the driver drove away and we had to have her leg amputated, and she got through life just absolutely fine. Just like some people,
right.
you know, some people complain and, oh, this is awful, this life. But you know what? She was a living example of how she did it. She made it through. This book is And Candy Lived, about where she went after she passed away.
Oh.
I journaled it, and it turned itself into a book about where she went on the other side. And she met Aunt Mary, who, that's the third book, but she met Aunt Mary, and she came back to our home to help us. And I believe in that kind of thing.
Right.
I believe that.
What a beautiful story for a child who's maybe lost a pet.
Right.
You know how hard that can be for kids to kind of grasp and understand.
Right. And I mean, Hanneman Funeral Home has this book.
Oh,
Yeah.
So very cool.
Right. And then my third book is Aunt Mary's Pottery. It's about my aunt. And again, from the beginning, she started making pottery at age 12, and she ended up with polio and couldn't walk.
Okay.
And then ended up with arthritis later on, but she didn't let it stop her. and she made pottery from the age of 12 to 80.
Wow.
And
Such resilience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had shops. And she lived in Florida. And it talks about her life from the beginning to the end.
Oh, neat.
And then the art teacher at Otsego, I gave this to her, or she bought it. And there is a glossary of terms, for all the different vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Yeah.
Very
Related to pottery,
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So
Very cool.
anyway.
Awesome.
Wow. So what are your plans now moving forward, Carole? What do you have going on?
I have a marketing group that's helping me, and I'm wanting to go on the Today Show.
Yes.
Next week, I'm going on WTOL
Okay.
Oh, yay. Yeah.
on Good Day
Awesome.
with whoever's there.
And that's Channel 11
Channel 11.
News.
Yeah, at 9. And let me see. Then I have a book launch at Simpson Gardens. That's in Bowling Green on 1291 Conneaut Avenue from 1 to 4.
Okay.
Awesome.
And everybody, there are a lot of people that might come.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
Okay. I'm going to. And where can people get your book?
They can get it on Amazon. They can get it from us. We're going to eventually have a place where people can directly order it. But yes, those two places. And I looked it up. Barnes and Noble, Books A Million. I mean, all those stores that are online stores. And Gathering Volumes in Perrysburg. They have actual copies of that book because someone came in and said, "Do you have From the Pen of Private Gem?"
I love it.
Denise said, "No, but I've heard about it because we're Facebook friends."
Okay. Okay.
He went ahead and ordered it.
Okay. And you are also available for speaking engagements too.
Speaking engagements, I have a speaking engagement in December at Westerville.
Oh,
So cool.
And I have some speaking engagements with Kiwanis and hopefully with Rotary. And
Yep.
I love speaking. I can
Okay.
speak. Put me in front of a crowd and I'll speak.
Okay.
And you are, because you do have a background as a teacher.
As a teacher for 35 years,
Yes.
6th grade and 4th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And we will put all of that information in our show notes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. And now I work with student teachers. I have 10 student teachers all at Otsego, and I'm so happy. All at Otsego. So, yeah. And with all the wonderful teachers that work there. So,
Yeah.
Hey,
Very good.
very good. Thank you so much for
you.
joining us.
thank you
You're
so
amazing.
much for
Best of
inviting me.
yes.
I think this is a wonderful program that you're putting together, and it's just great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carole.
Thank you.